So a very good afternoon, dear students. I wanted to, can you please, are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, teacher.
You can see the screen. So what do you see on the screen?
We see a cow, honeybee,
Good.
a pig, chicken,
Sheep,
Sheep.
a
and-
goat.
sheep.
Okay, very good. So can you please match, like, for example, hen gives eggs. Okay. So it would be matched like this. If you see, I'm going to match hen with this eggs. Okay. So like this, can you please tell me what are the other animals, products that you get from other animals?
Goat, meat, ma'am.
Yes.
Goat gives meat. Where is the goat? Okay. Where is meat in this? Do you see meat?
Uh,
Below, wool.
no,
Wool
teacher.
does
There is
this sheep. You get wool from
Yes.
sheep. Okay, good. And then,
Cow or milk.
get honey from honeybee.
okay, cow gives milk. Good. Honeybee gives honey. And then what do you get?
Pig, cheese.
Cheese. From where we are getting cheese? Who gives
Egg.
cheese?
Oh.
From where do you
Goat.
get cheese? Okay, goat can also, from where? Goat is, how is goat giving cheese? Is it giving you directly? Delivering cheese from
No.
goat? Then how do we get cheese from goat?
He gives the milk.
Hmm.
So then we, the people convert it
We
to cheese.
process, very good. That milk you can be processed in for cheese. Good. And then what is this?
Pig.
Yeah, what does it gives?
The sausage. Yes.
Yeah, pork, the material that's, so these are the animals which are providing these dietary products to us. Okay, so now let's see. Let's discuss on this. Okay. What do you mean by non-vegetarian food? Can you tell me, and can you list some food items that are non-vegetarian? Non-veg, we call non-veg mostly, isn't it? Yeah. Unmute yourself and tell me what are non-veg foods.
Vegetables and fruits, ma'am.
Vegetable and fruits are vegetarian food. I'm talking about non-vegetarian food.
Oh, sorry. Chicken,
Good.
goat, cow.
Chicken, yeah, cow meat, beef. You're talking about beef, mutton, eggs. These are all treated as non-vegetarian foods. Okay. And then what do you mean by domestic animals?
Which live in our surroundings.
Domestic
Yes.
animals are those that lives in our surroundings and that are useful to us. So can you just list, give me the names of some domestic animals?
Cow, dog,
Cow,
Hmm.
goat,
Good.
and ma'am, can we say rabbit?
Yes, rabbit also is a domestic animal. You see, many people keep them in the home. The animals that are kept, that can be kept at home, also are treated as domestic animals. To call it as a animals that stays in our home also, and that are helpful for providing various, domestic is household work. Like, if you talk about a washerman used to keep a donkey. So donkey become a domestic animal for him. He keeps a donkey at home. And maybe if you go to a desert area where people use camel for transportation, they keep camel. So these animals which help us in carrying load or in various aspects, we call them domestic animals. So now, Rida, can you please read what is written here? Ray was feeling some weak. Can you read this out?
Yes, teacher. Ray was feeling some weaknesses, so he went to the doctor to get a checkup. During the checkup, the doctor asked if Ray was non-vegetarian, and Ray said no. The doctor recommended Ray to have B12 tablets. What do you think B12 tablets are used for?
Okay. So what did you understand from this? Can you explain, Ali?
That Ray has felt weakness, so he went to doctor to prescribe his medicines. Doctor advised him to doctor asked him, he is non-vegetarian, so doctor prescribe him B12 tablets.
So what is very important here to notice is doctor first asked him, are you a non-vegetarian? So Ray said, no, he's a vegetarian. So then doctor said, if you're a vegetarian, you are feeling weakness because you have a B12 deficiency, and he gave him B12 tablets. So can you guess what does B12 contain? What is that B12 is having, and Ray was not getting it in his vegetarian food?
I think teacher, it's containing non-vegetarian chemicals.
Chemicals, no, food, dietary items. In diet, the non-veg, all non-veg foods contain B12. Like if you see chicken, egg, cheese, most of the non-veg food, just now you have seen what are listed out the non-vegetarian food. So when doctor said that if you're not eating, so non-vegetarian, you need B12. That means B12 is found naturally in non-veg foods, chicken, mutton, cheese, butter, all these animal foods that we are getting, that contains, and even milk. So if you are not taking all these non-veg products in your food, maybe you will have B12 deficiency, right? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, so this we have already done it. Have we done it like this only? Is this all correct?
Yes.
So now, this is the answer for the question. What does non-vegetarian food is referred to? The food made from the meat of the animal. Chicken, eggs, sauces, hams, etc. And what are domestic animals? Please note it down, note down all this. Domestic animals are the animals. Can you read the B1, Ali? And while reading, if you are not, anyone have got any doubts, please ask me so that we can get it clarified.
Domestic animals are animals that have been tamed and kept by women for work as a food source or as a pet. Cows provide milk, cats, pet, ox for plowing, etc.
So what all you read, both of you did understood, or you have got any doubts in it?
No, ma'am, we have
Understood,
understood.
ma'am.
Both understood.
Yes.
Okay, Rida, will you please read down what is written in the C1?
Yes, ma'am. Non-vegetarian food is a rich source of proteins and vitamins, some of which are not present in vegetarian food. B12 supplements provide those additional proteins and vitamins lacking in a vegetarian diet.
Okay, so that is the reason why we have to have both type of foods, veg and non-veg food. If you are taking non-veg, any doubts in this? Both of you could understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we can understand.
So can you tell me, where do you find vitamin B12 in vegetarian food or non-vegetarian food?
Non-vegetarian.
Rida, do
Yes,
you agree with what Ali says?
yes, ma'am.
So it's found in non-vegetarian food. Okay. What is the D1? Rida, will you read this again?
Yes, ma'am. Providing care for the animals, ensuring continued health checkup, providing food and adequate shelter, vaccines, etc.
Vaccination, etc. Adequate shelter and vaccine, etc. What does it mean, this point?
They are providing the B12 is
Animals, because
providing a care.
animal which we are eating, that food has to be taken care of. You cannot eat any animal, that you have found on the, you see hens or the goats that are roaming on the roads. Can we eat them?
No,
If you cut and
No.
eat them, we are not ensuring that the products, that is the dietary products that we are getting from those animals are safe for our health. So what is happening in the poultry farms, or the sheep that are reared, these animals are kept, and even the milk we get from the buffaloes or the cows are kept in certain places where it is ensured that their regular health checkup is being done. And those animals are vaccinated, because supposing if those animals have got some disease, that will be carried to us. So this precaution is taken, and it's very important. Otherwise, the food product which we are eating will become harmful for us. So now let us see, what do you mean by animal husbandry? Okay, how are these being managed? What are the scientific methods of managing these animals? So animals are what type of food feed, how do we feed these animals? The milk products or mutton, fish, what all you are getting from the animals, that animals have to be taken care from. The food they eat, the place they are kept, and the diseases, they have to be kept away from the diseases. And then breeding of these animals, because these animals need to give us food that is required. You all are able to understand what I'm saying, or is it
Yes, ma'am.
becoming difficult to understand?
no, ma'am, we can understand.
You are understanding. So you see that animal-based farming includes cattle, goat, sheep, poultry, fish farming. We eat all these things. We eat mutton from the cattle, milk products from the cattle, mutton from goat, wool from sheep we are taking, and from poultry we have got eggs from the fish, duck eggs. There are so many other type of eggs also which people eat. And then fish farming, fish is also having a lot of vitamins, and the full-fledged diet we have from it. But as the population is increasing and the living standards increase, the demand for milk, egg, and meat is also going up, because as population is increasing, everybody needs these food supplements. So what are we doing as it is awareness of need of humane treatment of livestock has brought in new limitation in livestock farming. So what are we doing is, when there is a lot of demand, we have to make sure that supposing a person is a rich person, why are certain food products are very expensive? Can anybody tell me? Like fish. Fish is, we feel that fish is very expensive food. Why is it expensive?
Because it is having, I think, demand.
That is what, is it because of demand or for what reason? Demand and supply. Supposing there are
The
5
fish has
people.
more nutrition.
Yes.
I think the fish has more nutrition.
Okay. So what happens when there is a more demand? Supposing if there are 100 people who went to the to get the fish, but that person who is selling the fish, he says that this 100 people want 1 kg also each one, so 100 kgs of fish is required, but he is having only 50 kgs. So what will he do? To whom will he give?
The rich person.
Those he will naturally, when the demand is high, he will increase the rate, and he will say that whoever can purchase my fish for 200 rupees kg, 500 rupees kg can only get. So those who are not having money, what will happen to them? They will
can't
not
able
be,
to buy.
they cannot buy, and they will
Yes.
have the deficiencies. So all these things happen. So now, to become a human, so how can we think that everybody can get the required amount of food, dietary products, at the same time everybody gets, and it becomes cheaper, and it can maintain the health also? So can you think of any idea of how can we do that?
Ma'am, I guess we can give it for free.
You want to give it for free of cost to the people. How
Yes.
can we give it free of cost?
Yes.
From where will you get the fish and give? Yes. Think of an idea. Give, what can we do then? So that everybody gets. So we can do, are you all with me? Can you hear me? This is the solution for it. Okay. This is the solution. So can you read out what is happening in the first picture? What do you see in the first picture?
A cattle rearing. Cattle husbandry is done for two purposes: milk and draught labor for agricultural work such as drilling, agriculture, irrigation, and carting.
Good. So what happens is now, to meet the demand, what are we doing is we have to take care of the animals. If animals die out of the diseases, or if they are not taken care of, then we are going to suffer. So what are we doing is we are trying to create an environment where the animals can breed and they can live into it. And then we have got two purposes for cattle farming. One is we need milk from one cattle, and we need buffaloes for irrigation purpose, for agricultural purpose. Okay. And carrying the load or the cart, for all these purpose also we need animals. I mean, buffaloes, cattle, we need it. So Indian cattle belongs to two different species, and these species are called Bos indicus. Bos indicus are cows that give us milk, and Bos bubalis is the scientific name of buffaloes. So so we need these both cows and buffaloes that give us, that takes care of our cattle husbandry and meet our needs and demands. So please note down these two scientific names, because most of the time, the scientists who have found out or named these animals are generally from Greek or Latin. So we call cow, like in Greek they call it Bos indicus. So that becomes the scientific name. So sometimes, in your exam, if they're asking, write about the Bos indicus, it is about the cows, but you feel that it is something difficult question and it is out of portion. Mostly in your exams, during your entrance exams into the, for higher education, you may get such questions. So always remember that you should know what are the scientific names for it. So cows are called as Bos indicus and buffaloes are called as Bos bubbalis. Because if you are going to some other country and there if you say cows, they'll not understand what you're talking. But if you say Bos indicus, then they'll know what you're talking about. Okay. So have you noted it down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, will you, Mahvin, you have to read this. What are we doing here in poultry farming?
Yes. Poultry farming is undertaken to raise domestic fowl
Fowl.
for egg production and chicken meat. Therefore, improved poultry breeds are developed and farmed to produce layers for eggs and broilers for meat.
So now, we need fowls and the self birds. We need both the things. We need eggs as well as we even need chicken. So, there are certain, so what are we doing in poultry farming? We are breeding both the type of hens. One hen which lays eggs so that we get eggs, and one that only gives us chicken. So these two type of broilers are for giving us meat, and whereas, the others are for laying eggs and fulfilling our dietary needs. And then what are we doing for now? We saw what have we done for the cattle and then chicken. Let us see how are we making this fish, the demand of fish supply. How are we taking care of it? Yes, Ali.
See, fish production. Fish is a cheap source of animal protein for our food. Fish production include the finite true fish such as well as shellfish such as prawns and mollusks.
Mollusk.
There are two mollusks.
Mollusk.
Okay.
You call it mollusks. It is inside the
Mollusks.
shell. These are water animals that lives inside the shell. Mollusks. Mollusk is the
Okay.
name of a family. जैसे झींगा है, prawns है, that are inside the shells, and you call them all mollusks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There are two ways of obtaining fish. One is from natural resource, which we call capture fishing, and the other way is by fish farming, which is called culture fisher.
So that is how, to meet the demand, what are we doing is fish production includes fine true fish as well as shellfish. So shellfish, prawns and mollusks are there. We generally eat prawn and fish only from water, aquatic animals. Mostly we eat these two, but there are many other people who eat mollusks also. Inside the there are many shelled animals that are inside the sea, where we get dietary food materials from it. And how are we going to meet the demand? What are we doing? One thing is, from natural sea or rivers, we can catch the fish. But what is happening because of the pollution and the environment is not maintained hygienic, so we don't know how far the fish that we are capture and they are using is healthy for us, as well, because we are not taking care of the food it eats, the environment in which it is living. And supposing, there are so many things that happen where, the water gets polluted and many fish will die. So we will not be able to fulfill the demand of this dietary item to all the human beings that are living in this world. So we have to culture into the fishery farms, where we have to create artificial ecosystem where this fish can live, survive, and it gives us the dietary that is needed. Okay. Now,
Okay.
yes, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let us see what happens in beekeeping, Rida.
Yes, ma'am. Beekeeping. Honey is widely used, and therefore beekeeping for making honey has become an agricultural enterprise. Since beekeeping needs low investments, farmers use it as an additional income generating activity. In addition to honey, the beehives are a source of wax, which is used in various medicinal preparations.
Medicinal preparations. Okay, very good. So you do understand that honey is also very important. It is also dietary products, and it also gives a lot of nutritive values into it. And it has medicinal value also, especially the wax from the honeybee. So no, people going to the, going and searching the honey into the forests is becoming very difficult, and the required honey to the population is also not meeting both the ends. So what did they start? They have started culturing. So now beekeeping has become one of the great agricultural enterprise. Every farmer is going for a beekeeping place where, bees are coming, collecting nectar from various flowers, or they keep all those nectars from where the bee can collect, as well as the jaggery, all those aspects. If you really go to the forests and see, in natural way, the honey collects nectar from different flowers, neem trees, any though. So that honey, if you eat that naturally collected, you will find it very bitter. You don't find the taste of the honey which these farmers are getting to us by beekeeping. This is sweet because they generally give that type of flowers only for that honey, and jaggery and the sweet, so that from the sweet flowers only this honey can collect the nectar, and this honey is made. Whereas the forest bees, they can go and get the nectar from any flower. So that is the reason, you will not get the sweet honey from the natural ways from where the bee is getting. But that honey which is not tasty is supposed to be very good for health, because it's in a natural production. So is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Ma'am, I think the time's up because it's home bill time.
I think we have got 43 seconds till that time. If you can see this video, well and good. Otherwise, I'll share it in your group.
No, ma'am. We'll see.
So with this, we end your class for today. So wasn't it interesting? Once you know how to do the cattle farming, poultry farming, and fishery, this can become one of your occupation, isn't it? So there's a lot more interesting aspects that can be known, and if you are interested into it, you can go into this farming, and where you can provide food for the people, and at the same time enjoy knowing about animals, their lifestyle. So we have got just 1 minute left. Anything that you wish to ask, please do ask me. Any questions?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No questions. So, okay, then see you in the next class. So Ali, please share the schedule too with me. Take care.
Okay.
Allah Hafiz. See you all in the next class.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.